If you ever have wondered how many bagels are too many bagels to eat, I think the answer is four. Four in a day. Not back to back, but even spread out evenly. Four is just it's too many. Trust me, I know. I attempted it yesterday. Well, it was free. I was eating for free yesterday. And also, I didn't want to go anywhere and get more food. They were readily available, and they were good. They were bagels from Panera. Got the cinnamon crunch bagel. I only had one of those, and then the rest were plain. But dude, four bagels. I just wanted to prove. I wanted to prove to the world that I wasn't anti-Semitic, and I thought eating a ton of bagels would prove that fact. When I tried to eat the fourth bagel at the end of the day, my body rejected it. It wanted nothing to do with it. I ate about a quarter of it, and my body was like, dude, no, the bagel, it was like, we're not consuming this. It rejected. It became anti-Semitic, my tummy. And it said, no more bagels. So I threw it out the window. I threw it out the window to the birds. And some guy was like, don't litter. And I was like, it's for the birds. That never happened. But I was thinking about it. Even when you throw biodegradable stuff out the window, you worry sometimes that, people are going to yell at you for littering. And then I realized that no one cares what anyone does anymore. They care in Hawaii. They do care in in Hawaii. I was in a convertible once, and I won't mention who it was, but they threw a cigarette out of the convertible at the end of it, being after, the butt, not a full one. And someone literally yelled like, don't throw that shit on our island. And I was like, damn, dude, that is, I respect that. But I also just drove off even faster. So that was the only instance. So that maybe that's why when I throw things out my car window, I'm worried that someone's going to call me out for it. But I only throw biodegradable things. All right? Things for the animals. They gotta eat too. They love a good bagel, but just too many. Too many. I saw a guy this morning that one of those dudes who only work out their upper body and not their legs. That is a weird. I'm gonna start calling it. I call it the flamingo. That's what that look is. And this guy was like, he was, for the flamingo shape, I give him a 10 out of 10. A 10. Like he was, dude, his legs, I've never even seen legs I don't even know how you get legs that skinny on your body. His ankles, I'm not making this up. This is a close of a representation that I can give you of what his legs look like. It was simply remarkable. Barbie. Like the Barbie legs where the ankles are so thin and then they just go up. Those skinny, dude, he had those legs. It was like he did it intentionally. And then he had he had a stacked torso. Like he was a built dude, but so bizarre. And then wearing a coat, like, so it was a weird look. That's all I'm gonna say. I wanted to tell him, like, just do some squats in place. I don't know, man. It was interesting. It was interesting to behold with my vision, the flamingo. But a lot of people are into it. I don't know why people hate working out their legs so much. I mean, I get it. Like, I think when I was younger, around the age of 20, we'd go to the gym, and I basically had to force myself to do leg day. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not fun. I'm not sure. But I mean, you can go on a jog. Go on a jog, which I did the other night. Ran hills. It was a good run. I'm getting a little bit nervous because the temperatures are starting to cool down, and I want to keep running, but I don't want my nipples to gush blood. As you know, this is a fear of mine. I get real scared. I think that in the office they cut out holes around the nipples and just had the nipples show. Like, I think I'm going to do that. The Omaha Marathon is coming up on the 28th. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run the half. I was thinking about just running the half on my own and not doing it, but then I'm like, I don't know, man. I've done all this training. I think that I'm just going to go run the half at the race. And you got to wear your number. And it's like, can you not wear a shirt? Because I'm thinking about when I was at the race last year when my wife ran it, I don't recall anyone really running shirtless. Everyone had a shirt. This one maniac ran a full marathon in overalls. I mean, that's a true legend right there. The thick denim of overalls that guy's nipples have to be so calloused. I should have asked him. Done a callus test on his nipples. Kind of like with a special tool where you could measure the thickness of the callus on top of the nipple just to see for myself, like, what I have to do for my nipples to be, how thick and calloused I need them in order to possibly run with overalls on. The strap comes down. There's a piece of metal there too. I mean, that is a bold choice. But I don't even think the guy was sweating. He wasn't human. I screamed at him. I'm like, I don't like your genetics. It wasn't fair. So, yeah, I mean, he ran in overalls, so maybe you can not, maybe I can not wear a shirt and put, like, the number piece of paper on my butt or something like that. I don't know. And jog. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't think I mentioned this the other day, and I just wanted to make it a point that when we went to the Cody Johnson concert, he has a song that is a duet with the one and only Carrie Underwood. And during that song, he sang, and then obviously she wasn't there, but there was a gigantic screen behind him. And all of a sudden she appeared, and then it was her singing, her part or whatever. And I got to tell you, the lips on this woman, what she did to her lips, it was something to behold, let me tell you, because this screen was enormous. And her lips were the size of a football field. And, I mean, they looked exactly like the lips of a Napoleon wrasse fish. If you don't know what a Napoleon wrasse fish is, just look it up. Or maybe that cartoon fish, was it Nemo, who had giant lips? But it's like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Help me understand one making their lips that big, that unnatural, and that unsettling. Yeah, I don't know. I think she was like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. Do we age naturally, or do we pump our faces full of fillers and Botox and just become weird, motionless, facialless creatures of the deep? Because, or here's the thing, if she was aging naturally, or whatever her face would look like now, if she didn't do what she did to it, then when I say like, oh man, I don't think I would. I'd be like, oh, she's getting older. But I don't think I would go, holy shit, what is that? What are those lips? It was a sight to behold, really. It was truly a sight. Oh, I was gonna look up. Man, I don't know what. I gotta see what it is. I gotta make sure that I pronounce this right. Let me check my records real quick. It's toxoplasmosis, and that is a parasite that feral cats, outdoor cats contain that can also infect humans and make them irrational. Basically, that's how you get a crazy cat lady. And the why I'm bringing it up is because I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but in the comedy world, Joe Rogan and Marc Maron are at odds. Mainly Marc Maron at odds with Joe Rogan. I don't think that Joe Rogan really seems to care whatsoever about Marc Maron's opinions about him. But he casually implied that Marc Maron is a crazy cat lady because Marc Maron loves cats. And as he was talking about on his show, this toxoplasmosis and how it infects people and giving examples, he just casually said like Marc Maron, and then just kept going on with his speech. And I just thought it was hilarious. So I cut it into a reel and I put it on my YouTube channel. I wanted people to catch it. Maybe I wanted to stoke the flames, I just don't think a lot of people caught it. I don't know why. I just thought it was funny. How about that? I thought it was damn funny. And I'm not drinking chemicals today. I'm drinking coffee, but I don't really have, I don't think that one comedian is better than the other. Like, I'm not taking a side. I don't have on my, I'm not Team Joe. I'm not Team Mark. I'm just like team whatevs. But I just wanted to catch that shade. I wanted to catch it, and I wanted to put it out there for the people, for the masses. And where that motivation came to do such a thing, I do not know. But it is done. That's all I got to say about that. I came across another story from Florida where a woman was arrested with a bag labeled "definitely not a bag full of drugs." And it was definitely a bag full of drugs. She had meth, some needles, Narcan, digital scales, baggies, cut straws. I mean, everything that has to do with drugs was in it. And she failed miserably. I just love it. Definitely not a bag full of drugs is the most drugs in the entire world. Maybe, they just thought it would be just a sarcastic label and that she wouldn't get busted, but she absolutely was. Also, legalized robot chicken fights in Oklahoma. That's right. Oklahoma just greenlit allowing live roosters to fight robots. This is the hellscape in which we live. But there is a rule, as long as the birds don't get hurt. So the law is effective November 1st here in 2025. And it updates section, I guess, 1692.9 of the Oklahoma statutes to permit this bizarre blend of foul and futuristic battle bots. So just no harm must come to the feathered fighter, and that's it. So I guess roosters, some cocks are going to be fighting robot chickens down in Oklahoma. I mean, who pushed this through? Who dedicated a percentage of their life to getting this statute rewritten so that roosters could fight robots? And then the people that approved it, dude, people put their energy behind some really weird stuff. Really weird stuff. I ran into a cockfight at a trailer park in Arkansas long time ago. Went out, met some, was on vacation down in the Branson area. You know, met some other young kids, went to a house party, partied it up, stayed way too late, you know. I mean, we're talking early hours in the morning, probably 2, 3, I don't know. And then left, you know, had to stop drinking and then wait a while to sober up and all that, and then was driving back to where we were staying, but went the wrong direction. Didn't head back into north into Missouri where I was staying, but it was downpouring rain, and I was headed south and crossed over into Arkansas when the sun was coming up. And then, like, right when I crossed the border, it was like, welcome to Arkansas, okay? It stopped raining. The sun, you know, is peeking through the clouds. And I'm like, where the hell am I? I pull into a, like, trailer park area on the east side because I took a left. And long and behold, there was a trailer park. People were getting ready. They were forming a circle. And there was 2 people. They were each holding a rooster. And they were setting them down, and they were going to fight. And I was like, where am I? This is a dangerous place to be. This is what they're doing in the early hours on like a Sunday morning. It was either a Saturday or Sunday. I do not remember. But yeah, I whipped a U-turn quick, and we headed back to our house, and that was a sight to behold. And then I think I had looked it up. I'm pretty sure that cockfighting is actually legal in Arkansas. Is cockfighting legal in Arkansas? That's me asking the computer. We're going to find out right now. It's doing a web no. Let's see here. Okay, so it's illegal to sell or possess fighting birds. That became a felony. So that was 2009. This was before 2009. So we got to see. Was it ever legal in Arkansas? That's the question that we have to ask. Yeah, it used to be legal. Boom. Okay, so that's right. So basically, so in 2001, Arkansas finally passed a law making cockfighting illegal, but, and here's the kicker, only a misdemeanor. Basically, bad chicken got the same punishment as the parking ticket. People kept doing it. Basically, bad chicken. What does that even mean? So then in 2009, they toughened it up, making possession of birds or blades for fighting a felony. So this had to have been, I mean, when this had to have been around like 2003, 2004. So it was just recently made illegal, and it was only a misdemeanor. So people were definitely not just like the second that it was made illegal or a misdemeanor, like let's put our cocks and the blades away and never cockfight again. No, they were still doing it. I saw it with my own eyeballs, and hell of a thing to do on a Sunday morning instead of going to church. It does actually seem pretty messed up to have a rooster fight a robot chicken. I mean, you're going to rile it up, cortisol levels through the roof. It thinks it's a real one. It's going to be flustered. It's trying to fight. I mean, it's made of metal. It's a Terminator rooster. I don't see how a real rooster doesn't get hurt by a robot one. How does it not? Its beak, if it pecks, it could break its beak. I don't know. Why is this a law? This is insane. Oklahoma is out of control. So flat, so many tornadoes. They're the reason we have Pentecostals. I mean, this is... They've gone too far. They've gone too far. Back to the cat thing. My cat does have... It's had its shots and vaccines, so I don't think it has a parasite. But I've known about this parasite in toxo for a long time. And when we first got the cat, I'm like, you got to take it, get it a cocktail of shots, shoot it up. We don't want any. I don't want a parasite from a cat. Apparently, they give dogs parasites too that make them like them. Or there's also, I don't know if it's the same parasite, toxo, that makes you just not care about cat pee. I don't know. The parasites just freak me out. Worms inside my body, probably my biggest fear. I mean, I just remember when I was a kid in a textbook, it showed people that had worms in third world countries, most likely Africa, and the worms were coming out of people's skin in their arms. And I'm like, no, that's suicide right there. That's jumping off a building, drowning myself, burning myself. I don't even know. That's too much. You can't have worms inside the body. I mean, I'm still haunted by an exact visual of when a neighbor's dog, when I was a kid, had worms and took a dump in our yard, and they were all just swimming through the turds. Worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Not okay with it. Not okay. So the world still on fire today. We got a lot going on. Trump suing the New York Times for $15 billion. I started reading the article I read for a while. It never gave me any insight to what exactly the lawsuit is for, like why he's suing them. I know he said on Truth Social that they're just not nice to him. Like your favorite president, me, in brackets, he wrote. So I'm really not sure. He's leaning over. He's over with the king right now. I did see a picture of him just laughing it up with the king. I thought the king had like a ton of cancer or something like that, and that he was going to be shedding his mortal coil soon. But I don't know. It looked all right in this photo. You know, maybe he's got some of those harvested organs from China. Maybe him and the leader of China are, maybe he's hooking him up with some fresh organs. It's hard to say. Hard to tell, but he's over there now. People are still getting fired for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, which just kind of still just freaks me out, because then there are people, because remember, and right when this happened, I have a episode that I titled Charlie Kirk is a Christian Martyr. He absolutely is. Now I'm hearing some other people say the same things some pastors and stuff that I listen to. Just listened to a sermon today by Chris Roseborough. He said the exact same thing as I was saying, and it's like that's why. Fundamentally, that's why he was killed, because his Christian beliefs, everything flowed out of that. That was his foundation, his politics, and everything else. So, like, if you're just a moral person and a God-fearing person and a Christian, now we know that large quantities of the population want, if they could, they would have you killed. They would kill you, and they would celebrate it. That's what we've learned. A lot of people want Christians dead, and they get really excited about it. They dance to music, just get real pumped. Very, very disturbing. Very, very sad, but God calls us to love our enemies and to pray for our enemies, regardless. And that's what, any Christians out there that are like, this is war and retaliation and are thinking eye for an eye, that's not the way, man. It's not the way. Let's pray for your enemies, to love them regardless of their evil. This ain't old tea, man. This ain't the Old Testament. There's no Old Testament style here. So that about sums it up on this day. On this Wednesday in September. Tomorrow, taking the wife. We just saw Cody Johnson. We're going to see Jason Aldean. And, so on Friday I'll report back, let you know how that show was. But it's supposed to be rainy today. Going to enjoy this fall weather creeping in. I'm looking at a tree right now. It used to be green. It's starting to turn yellow. It's starting to turn a beautiful, beautiful, crisp yellow. This wonderful fall. Cool temperatures. Rained like hell last night, man. Rained so insane. Normally on the south side of our house that our bed is against the window, you don't hear, like, rain never really hits it, ever. But I had a hard time. It woke me up. I had a hard time falling asleep because the rain was hitting the window so incredibly hard that even my wife woke up and was like, are we safe? Are we going to die? I'm like, it's just rain. I think we're going to be all right. I'm like, let's just see what happens, because I am tired. And it turns out we're fine. But crazy storm last night. Wasn't even supposed to rain. Just unleashed the cats and dogs. So we'll see what happens today. Have a good day. Subscribe. YouTube channel. Check out that video of Joe Rogan. I don't know. Just funny. Just a little throw into the shade. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is Austin Anderson Show. I'll be back tomorrow at 10.